Hello, folks, and welcome back to another episode of Comment After Dark. We're very excited for tonight. We have two very important guests with us today. But first, I want to give a special thanks to the Olive Garden here in Enfield, Connecticut for providing dinner for the crew and the guests. So thank you very much for that. And also want to thank Matt DeRoma for Matt Sports Cards, Comics, and Collectibles in Enfield, Connecticut for providing set scenery. So, and leading into that, we have two very special guests. We have Matthew DeRoma and his beautiful wife, Cynthia DeRoma. And Matt is the comic book store owner here in Enfield, Connecticut, Matt Sports Cards, Comics, and Collectibles. So, Matt, why don't you tell us a little bit about your career and your career choice in selling comic books and manga and all sorts of things that are awesome.
They are awesome. Comics are awesome. So my dad started the store in 1987. I took over in 95, so we've been there about 30 years. Prior to that, I was living in New York. I started selling comics when I was 7 years old. People would have lemonade stands at a comic book stand, and it kind of grew from there.
That's pretty remarkable. So you were 7 years old selling comic books. How did that even, like...
It was my mother.
Oh.
So, because she didn't want to give me money for more comics, so she came up with the idea, well, you should sell the ones you read already, and use that money and you can buy other stuff.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
So
what a great
I'd have
idea.
little comics out there, and she'd make little bags of pretzels and stuff for me to sell to supplement my comic book money.
Nice. So, what's it like running a comic book store?
Just a lot of work, a lot of hours. I mean, you're working 70 hours a week. And my dad always says, you always work harder for yourself than for anyone else. I wouldn't tell your boss that, but it's true. I mean, because you're working for yourself, and you want to please yourself. You want to do a little better, and so you put in the hours, you put in the work. So.
Yeah, and there's one thing that I've noticed from your store is that it's like very interesting when you go in there. It's a nice, cozy store, and there's so much stuff in it. I mean, you have just more than just comics there. You have like all sorts of collectibles. Like you have manga, you have action figures, and all different things like that. What made you branch off into like that type of stuff?
It's just everything that I like. I mean, there's nothing in that store that I don't personally like or collect or. My basic rule, if I have to stare at something 70 hours a week, I better like it. So, and yeah, we have lots of stuff
That's why
there.
He married me.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, Cynthia, what's it like being married to a comic book store owner?
It's a dream come true.
Awesome.
Prince Charming. Yeah. When I met him, I was like, oh, Star Wars stuff that I don't have to buy. Maybe he'll give me some of it. No, it was totally out of self-interest. But then, as Admiral Akbar would say, it's a trap. Because then you end up being the co-owner of the shop, and you end up, part of those many hours spill over, and there's a lot of work that's done at home, and we all help. We all pitch in.
Yeah, I was in the shop just the other day, last weekend actually, and saw you rearranging all sorts of different things. Like, they had these like giant boxes of comics, and your back-breaking work, lifting them up, putting them in the shelf, putting them back. I mean, that's got to be tough, And plus, I think you even have some of your own self-designed, like things that you pull in and push out. I think we have a picture of that somewhere over here. It's just, oh, there it is right there. Look at that custom work. Now, tell us about this.
Those are basically just pull-out bookcases. When I grew up in the 80s in New York, you'd have all these, old-school bookstores. And like books going, they'd have, New York 16-foot ceilings, books going up to the ceiling, these little narrow passageways, just every nook and corner is filled, and you'd have the ladder that slid across. And a couple of them in a couple of libraries would have pull-out cases. And so I kind of stole their idea. But I mean, I love those old stores. It's like you just go in there and
I
it's
gotta
just
say,
crammed.
If you're a fan of the Ghostbusters,
Exactly.
I mean, when you go to walk in through there, it's like you're just waiting for the ghost to come out of the card catalog. It's It's Cindy. I'm just kidding. But we have a really fun little break for you here too. So this is going to be a little game that we do with our guests. So I'm going to hold up some flashcards here, and you're going to choose between one or the other, okay?
Okay.
You don't have to explain why. You just choose it. So ready? Which one?
Were you choosing or comics?
Yeah, I think I'm more into comics just because I don't know manga so well yet.
Ah, okay. All right, next one. Anime or cartoons?
It's like one is a subcategory of the other. It's kind of, I feel like if I say cartoon, it kind of includes anime. No?
I like slapstick cartoons. I love the art in anime. Like the animation style is awesome.
All right, so that's a split decision, it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
All right, now ready? This next one is a little bit different. PC or console?
I have to say console.
Yeah.
PC is like work for me.
Yeah, console.
All right, cool. All right, and then we have next,
Ooh.
Marvel or DC?
Currently DC.
Oh, wow.
So.
Image.
Yeah, all right, cool. Nice. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I think I might know the answer to this one. Star
Trek.
Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars, of course.
Uh-oh. House divided.
No,
Yes.
it's fine. She can be wrong
We
sometimes.
compliment it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a trap.
Okay. Pocky or P-Joy?
Pocky.
Yeah, I think I have to go with Pocky.
Although
P-Joy's too
P-Joy has a
crunchy.
couple flavors that Pocky doesn't have. So
Really?
yeah, they got this new mixed berry thing. That's yummy.
Ooh, that's pretty good. What's the difference between them?
Pocky chocolate is on the outside. P-Joy, it's in the middle.
Ah, neat. Very good. All right, and finally, Common or Angry Geeks?
I'm going to have to think about that one.
Both.
Both?
How can you choose? Seriously.
Oh,
I
nice.
know, right?
Louie? Love you guys, Louie and Jeremy. Made it into the show. Yeah, con men, we love the Angry Geeks too. That's our choice. You know, we
Okay.
just, we can't have one without the other. They're our brothers in arms. So thank you very much for that. You guys, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after a little word from our public access friends.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
Growing up, my mom was afraid of the water, something she did not want me to feel.
So I enrolled Missy in swim lessons.
It changed my life.
Missy Franklin.
And now you can do the same for someone that you love.
There's nothing more precious than your child's well-being.
So act now before it's too late.
I'm glad I did.
Thanks, Mom. Visit usaswimmingfoundation.org to find, get, or give a swim lesson.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com.
You want a college education, don't you? You know you do. That's why we're here. We're free and here to guide you through every step of the way, starting with attendance. Gary, financial aid forms. Picking a college, man. You and us. We go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos. Go to getschool.com.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Con Men After Dark. We're here discussing comics and conventions and everything related, and it's dark out, so it's after dark. I think so. You know, it's still the summertime, so you get a little bit lighter. We're jumping into our next topic here. I'm here with Matt DeRoma and his beautiful wife, Cynthia, and we were just discussing the comic book store. But they are also involved in another really cool thing, and that's Camp Anime. Yeah, it's a convention outdoors and lots of other stuff. So tell us, Matt and Cynthia, how did Camp Anime get involved? Oh, look at the dates right there. Yeah. Yeah, so
How did we start?
So the dates right there, this year for Camp Anime, it looks like it's the 21st through the 23rd of 2018. Should be a fun-filled weekend. Maybe not too cold, but also not too hot. So it should be perfect weather. Usually, I mean, every year we go, it always is. But this past year was actually really hot, so a lot of people wanted to swim. And that's cool.
Yeah.
Swimming, water balloon fights. Tell us what else goes on there.
So you have everything that's a normal convention. So you have panels, activities. We have guests, but teaching guests, and then you have everything that YMCA does. You know, so boating, archery, anything you'd normally do at a camp. Swimming, rock climbing wall, BB gun range. So.
You know what I thought was a really cool concept to Camp Anime is you could actually see a cosplayer dressed up as Link shoot a bow and arrow.
They're there every year, and they are horrible. You think if you're going to dress up and go to the archery, you practice a little ahead of time.
Oh, well.
Like, you want to see that person hit at least the target.
Ah.
And no, whoever dresses as Link is, like, really not that good at archery.
Oh, okay. So
it's kind of disappointing.
yeah, I would say, you know, if you're going to come and dress up as cosplay, the whole thing to do is not just to be in costume, but to play as that character. So you got to get some good skills, although we don't mind.
That's all
I
right.
would actually think that would be really cool if we can get a whole group of like Links and everything to come in and see which one has the best.
Who's the real Link?
Yeah. Now this photo right here, that's you guys have a lot of water activities too.
Yeah, they have a nice lake. It's the second cleanest in the Northeast or something like that. They're trying to get number one.
Oh, really? Is it a freshwater lake?
I believe so, yeah.
So you can actually drink from the lake?
I won't, but yeah, if you're adventurous, I suppose.
What are they doing here?
That is paddleboarding and kayaking.
Ah, cool. So nice. You know, and you have other activities that you do there too. But one of the things that I wanted to touch up on is that you mentioned panels. What does it take to run a panel and be a great panelist?
Just what you're doing now, enthusiasm.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey.
Although
there you go.
one thing you could do, like when you introduce me and then say my beautiful wife, you should start with the handsome Matthew DeRoma. And his beautiful wife.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
well.
You know,
Very sexist
you can
of
compliment
you.
us both.
Oh,
You know,
I'm sorry.
but yeah, enthusiasm. I mean, you have to love the, subject you're talking about, and it generally shows and gets other people excited. And if you're excited, other people are excited, and it's a good panel.
That's awesome. So what are some of the trials and tribulations that you went through while running Camp Anime? What's some strange and unusual happenings that could happen throughout the weekend? Because it is a camp.
Yeah,
you know?
well, we had a tree, not during the camp, but before the camp, a tree fell on one of the cabins.
What?
So it was a big storm, and
Oh,
tree
wow.
came down. So went down there to do cabin placements, and there was one cabin we couldn't use.
And speaking of trees, I mean, one of the things that I look forward to the most is you guys do a big, huge campfire,
Yeah.
on Friday nights and Saturday nights. And, what do people do for like this? Because it's not just that, but I mean, it looks like there's like a whole stadium in there that people can sit around.
Yeah, it's a outdoor little amphitheater, like mini version, but so we'll do ghost stories and bonfire with marshmallows, s'mores, hot dogs.
Yeah, we usually have someone who's a librarian that knows a lot of stories and a lot of local lore and things like that, and she'll talk about those things, and it's a lot nicer in the dark with a fire running.
That's so cool. Now, you know what? One of the things in our earlier PSA showed this is safety. You know, you have you're out at camp and you have families there and everything. How safe is Camp Anime to go to?
We haven't had any bear attacks in like year and a half, 2 years. So
that's good.
Yeah,
no
we
real
started with
bears.
200 campers last year. We came back with 190, so it's pretty good. So, but no, we have medical staff on hand. Operation Haymond is our medical staff. They do different conventions, and they're geared towards, just con-goers rather than, anything else. Con-goers are a different breed of animal, in a way.
And for parents who don't feel completely confident leaving their kids there, there's always things for the parents to do as well. So a lot of parents don't like going to cons because I don't know anything about this, I don't know anything about the topic, what am I going to do there? So you can actually go with your kids and you can stay there too, and there are things for the parents to do.
It's a family camp. I mean, parents can stay if they want, and we encourage parents to stay.
You have the parents as den parents, right? Like they
it's like
can
normal
keep track
camp
of
where,
anybody under 18 and all that stuff. Cool. What are some of the other things that go on during the weekend? I know one little thing right here too is this is pretty neat. I saw this. They have these origami things. You guys have an origami panel there too, and you could do these really desserts. I mean, they look really tasty, but they're not really. You could try and eat it, but it's actually origami. There's an origami cupcake that Cynthia's it's organic.
Origamic.
Trying to say that 3 times
Organic.
fast. Yeah, right. Organic. And then speaking of that stuff, you also do something with bonsai trees too. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah. Well, it's Japanese related, so it ties into anime, and like all our quote unquote guests are, like I said, teachers, and the bonsai guy is one of them. He comes in here, he'll do an hour-and-a-half class on how to trim and prune a bonsai tree. You get a tree, you get a little pruning kit, and he'll answer any questions you got.
That's cool. And what I liked about Camp Anime too was the entertainment there. I mean, if you look right over here, you had some special guests here. And what can you say about this photo right here?
That's Anthony. He does tea ceremonies at different Asian festivals and stuff like that. And he's out of Boston, and he was kind enough to come down and do a tea ceremony.
Oh, that's really cool. That kind of reminds me along the lines of food. Like you had a sushi panel at one point too, and I mean, that was some good sushi.
That was neat. Yeah, we had a sushi chef come in and teach people how to, make sushi and do a little history on it. And you didn't actually get to play with the knives, but
Just sad. Because we know a lot of people like anime and they get interested in the Japanese traditions and culture, and so we try to provide a little bit of that so people get to know more of a context where those books were made and those stories come from.
Yeah, and speaking of that, we had some nighttime entertainment too, and this, I mean, you could hear this across the camp. They have these, what are these drums called, or what is this band called?
So that's the Yukon Taiko Club. So Taiko drums are these really big drums, and they do a demonstration, and they teach you, and you can try to do it yourself.
Cool.
So they study, they practice a lot, and they come and show us a little bit what they do.
Oh, that's so awesome. Now, will they be at camp this year as well?
Hopefully. We emailed them, but it's summer break, so I probably won't know until school starts again.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Very good. And speaking of panels and everything, I know you get a lot of volunteers there. What are the requirements of being a volunteer?
It depends on what you're volunteering for. If you're volunteering as a den parent, the requirement The requirement is that I know you, you're generally a parent, and you're good with children. The other general staffing is, setting up tables in a room and stuff like that. The only requirement is that you show up, be on time, and do your job. So it's fairly simple.
Now, speaking of showing up and being on time for different things like panels, I know in the future that if somebody missed a panel or if somebody canceled a panel, Matt would take a pie to the face.
Yes.
Now, you took a pie to the face for every panel that was missed, and there was one year I just kept seeing you get hit and hit and hit with so many pies.
So I when I started this thing, I really didn't think it through. So I did, for every panel that got canceled, I'd take one pie. But, it could be 20 people want a pie, that's 20. But then if 4 panels got canceled, that's 80.
Oh, wow.
So, I didn't do the math that well in my head.
And you talked about unexpected things. Being at a camp, things are far from each other. So when you first do the schedule, you think, oh, we're going to have time for everything. And you don't count the time that you're going to spend. So that was a reason for some cancellations and everyone takes it on Matt.
Yeah. Well, are you planning on ever switching that up? Maybe the panelists, I think, if they miss it, they should be right with you in line. No, I know you do it for fun.
No, we're doing it for every panel that gets missed or started late. You get to pie con men this year, so.
Oh.
It works out well for me. Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah. We won't be there. No, I'm just kidding. No, we'll be there. Actually, I love being on staff and helping out and everything. This con is so much fun.
Thank you.
One of the big things too is that it just getting out there and seeing people having so much fun and dancing. You guys have dance parties at nights too. Tell us a little bit about that.
So we have a dance on Friday and Saturday. The Friday one is generally a more standard con one with techno music and stuff. The Saturday one is ballroom dancing, and we'll do different songs from every decade. So we'll do like 2 or 3 songs from the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. And I'll usually pick the earlier ones. Not that I was around back then, but I kind of know them. And
all right,
we have
cool.
someone else
do
the newer ones.
So you guys want to see more about, we're running out of time here, but if you want to see more about Camp Anime, we're going to, we have Matt here. He's going to demonstrate a little bit about the dancing stuff, show us some cool moves. This is Matt's DeRoma's son. And
he's the vice president.
Yes.
Yeah, the vice president.
This will be the Friday dance.
Oh, okay.
Not the ballroom dance.
Oh, that's so awesome. Nice. I mean, look at him go. One of the cool things is that I would say Camp Anime is fun every year. If you guys want to know more, visit his website at campanime.com. If you're interested in doing a panel, sign up for the panel. And when does those panel sign-ups stop?
In about 3 weeks.
Oh, okay. So there's still time.
Yeah, mid to late August.
Okay, excellent. Very good. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. Any words of encouragement to all the guests out there, all the fans watching?
Matt, do you have anything to say?
Have a nice day. Everyone, everything.
Everyone, everything.
Excellent. And you too, thank you very much for watching another wonderful episode of Con Men After Dark. I was going to say Camp Anime. Thanks for watching Con Men After Dark. Thank you both for coming on the show. We really appreciate your time here. And it looks like if you pay attention to Matt over there, we're running out of time. Thank you again, Tim, for providing food from the Olive Garden. And have a great night. Con Men, signing off.